I would encourage everyone to read about this. This is something that needs so much details and numbers and how societies dealt with women, and that's why we're living the effect of that. When all over the world people talking about the women's rights, this is definitely a very good cause, because all over the world women have been treated unjustly, except when the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is dealing with the society, because this is the just, this is the mercy, and no human being whatsoever, if all human beings get together to try to give a certain part of the society their rights, they have no capacity to do that. They need it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's why women before Islam, you would read about things that are just very sad situations for them. They would buy them and sell them. So when we look back before the Prophet ﷺ was sent, every messenger Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him, definitely the messengers of Allah, they came with the truth. So definitely the rights of women, the rights of men were all served accordingly. But then when people deviated from the truth and things have been altered, then this is where you get the injustices to the physically weak part of the society. I say physically because yes, physically there's differences between men and women. But when it comes to responsibilities, when it comes to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all men and women should seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala equally, and this is something clear in the Quran. So when women were subject to being sold in the market or being bought or something, that is amazing when you read about the time of the Prophet ﷺ, around in the 5th century. There was a big gathering in Europe somewhere, right? I mean, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, where they were discussing whether the women have soul or not. If she has a soul or not.
Whether they're human beings or they're not.
And if she has a soul, is she on the same level as the soul of men or not? And they decided at the end that she has a soul, but it's on a second level, something that is inferior to the soul of men.
So she's a citizen, but she's a second-class citizen.
Right. And in the notion of many people on the face of earth, that the woman is the source of sins, that she's the one that seduced Adam or something like this to eat from the tree and so on. So she's always been looked at as the reason and the source of sin all over the world. This is not true. This is all lies. And this is something that people would see in the altered books before the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Quran. They would sense that and they would see it clearly. And at the time of Jahiliyyah, before the Prophet ﷺ, in the time of the Arab, and how they treated the women in such a bad way, in such an inhumane way, one of which I remember, of course, when it comes to inheritance, when it comes to the rights, basically a woman is of any goods that people would purchase. She has no rights whatsoever. Even if her husband dies, one of the interesting things that they would do, that the son of, or one of the sons of the one that deceased, he can go and throw a piece of garment on his father's wife, if she's not his mother. And if he do this, that means she belongs to him. Either he marries her if he likes her, or she can just be like that without being married, without having her freedom to do or to choose anything, just because he threw his garment on her. Things of that nature was present, and it doesn't matter. It's not just in the Arab world, it's all over the place. Even last century, 200 years ago, it was in some of the laws of the countries in Europe that a husband can sell his wife.
Wow.
So this is not too far away, this is recent. So when you find the message, which is the final message, never been distorted since the Prophet ﷺ was sent till today, this is what we need to go back and follow and hold fast to. That's why we need not to be basically politically correct, to please others. We just need to convey the message, the Quran, and the way the Prophet ﷺ, the way it is, the way it was practiced at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, people will be amazed of the fairness and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, looking into the men and the women that they have responsibilities, equal responsibilities, and there are special responsibilities because of the differences, the physical differences between men and women.